Overtime segment, a legal formation. We're talking all things from our guy Tua down in South Florida. Big hit, the TBIs. He's been diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. Garrett made a good point during pregame. Means just because you've been diagnosed with a TBI doesn't mean it's the end of a career. And what we're talking about as trial lawyers, we handle traumatic brain injury cases. Those are injuries typically where somebody's taking a shot to the head and under the medical literature talks about what follows up. Some kind of disorientation, some kind of paralysis. So Tua meets the definition. We won't get it as to the TBI. State of Florida, the difference is if you were your employer, i.e. the Miami Dolphins, it's a work comp claim. The NFL operates outside of Florida's worker compensation because they're on private contracts. I think, to me, what reached out the most is that we know we have a predisposition to concussions. And that's the difference, folks, between a TBI, traumatic brain injury, in different levels. Is it mild? It's traumatic. Garrett and I have worked on cases where they've been severe. Severe would be, hey, look, we have brain shearing, we have white matter, we have something that's going to change and alter somebody's life right now. As opposed to Tua, from what I understand, it looks like he's going to go through the medical evaluation.
That's right. He's got to meet with the neurologist, and everybody talking on sports media and on ESPN. Those people, I don't think they know all the details of what the process is.
The knee-jerk reaction of, hey, he should retire. The knee-jerk reaction of, it's over. The knee-jerk reaction of, hang the cleats up.
Yeah, I just want to know how many of those people have actually spoken with neurologists or have analyzed these contract terms and all these other things. So, it's a lot of TBD with the situation. Feel for the guy, hope he can come back.
So let's talk about for a second the difference between in the sports world when you hear, hey, is it fully guaranteed? So when you look at NFL contracts, and that's what controls, because if you're looking at the state of Florida, if you got hurt at your employer, that's work compensation. Work comp is based on a statute that talks about how much you would be entitled to if you got hurt on the job. Here, Tua's private contract is going to control. And what he has is he has two provisions within his contract. One is for fully guaranteed money, and the other is guaranteed for injury. And within these contracts, and keep in mind the terms of the contract control, and it spells out the elements. So for instance, for fully guaranteed money, a lot of times in NFL contracts, it only guarantees a certain portion. Here, Tua's fully guaranteed number, which is left, is $93 million, which means fully guaranteed no matter what, you're going to receive $93 million. However, on the flip side, roughly $124 million is left in the injury guaranteed money. But to Garrett's point, when you get hit with TBI can't be diagnosed by imaging alone. They can establish, yes, a concussion, but this is when the neurologist, the neuropsychs, this is when all the elements have to be met. And why is that a big deal for Tua and for the law? Because when you're talking about $124 million in injury guaranteed money, the difference is for you to receive that money, you have to be diagnosed with an injury where literally it says will no longer be considered injured. It means to the level that you can never play again. So there's an injury and then there's career ending. So think when it's fully guaranteed for purposes of injury guarantee, it has to be an injury that ends your career, meaning you can no longer be medically cleared to play in the NFL. That's Garrett's point. He says, slow down. A lot of concussions. Is it healthy for him? Hey, Tua can make his own decision of whether he wants to play again. But from a legal perspective, what I'm saying, is that for Tua to collect on the $124 million, experts are going to have to agree whether this is career ending. In your opinion, from what you're reading, likely not the case, right?
Right. I mean, we don't know what we don't know. We're not doctors or anything like that, or we don't have access to any of these records or anything, but my understanding is unless it's getting to the point where he's getting concussions and knocked out on normal type hits or normal everyday situations, he can still come back and play, but what do we know?
Personal decision.
Yeah.
So the idea for Tua is that you have a ton of money, most money than anybody will probably ever make under a guarantee of $93 million, but for $124 million, let's say that Tua decides, you know what, too risky, I'm going to walk away. If he walked away and retired, what this contract provides is he would not be entitled to the $124 million extra dollars if those medical experts say he is cleared to play football again because it wouldn't be career ending. So that's our overtime segment today. We appreciate the following. That's legal news as applies to the NFL. This is the Cousins, Rob and Garrett, two lawyers bringing you content because we enjoy it for nothing else. We appreciate the support. Hit that subscribe button. We look forward to week 3. We need a bounce back. We're 5-5. Let's go. All right, Luke, take us away, baby. Cut this baby up.
Very good.
We do it.
We're clear.